Hey, I'm Kelsey Robinson. I'm 19 and I'm a singer-songwriter from the Bay Area of California, and I've chosen to live a drug-free lifestyle. My natural high definitely comes from live music, whether it be me performing or watching somebody else perform, and that could be on the smallest scale of just grabbing an acoustic guitar and jamming around the fire pit in the backyard with my best friends, or going to a huge rock show. Either way, the live music aspect is just where I feel at home and I feel happiest. And I'm happy even just talking about it. There's something about being in a room full of people that genuinely just love music and are there for the same reasons as you, and just being crowded and sweat flying everywhere and the adrenaline, that's where I get my natural high. If there's one thing that I'm absolutely proud of about myself is that I've always had a really good head on my shoulders, and that being said, that's why I've steered clear from drugs my whole life. And I believe that everybody has that power within them to say, no, I don't want to do this, but people are misguided sometimes by pressures from their friends, from the media, etc. But luckily for me, I've surrounded myself with really good people that have never pressured me to do any of that. But ultimately, it's me that chose this lifestyle for me, and I'm the reason why I don't do drugs, I don't drink. It's because I made that decision, and anybody can do that. I have a wonderful group of friends and a beautiful family that I know that if I ever went down the road of doing drugs, that I would hurt not only myself but them too. And that's really what drives me to stay clear from everything, to remain drug free and just live a positive lifestyle, because I would never want to hurt anybody like that. I've been hurt by people who've lost themselves to drugs, and it's not pretty. It's what you're doing to yourself translates to other people. You're not just affecting your life. So that's just something that I would never want to do to anybody that I cared about. As a singer, I have to be very careful about everything that I put into my body. My voice is my instrument, and I have to make sure I take care of it. And everything that I eat or put into my body can ultimately affect it in a positive or a negative way. So just like I can't have dairy and I have to steer clear of spicy foods and sugary foods, I have to avoid drugs and alcohol like the plague that they are. So by drinking alcohol, that would dry out my vocal cords, which is probably one of the worst things you can do as a singer. And drugs like smoking cigarettes, that really messes with your lungs, obviously. And as singers, we have to have really good breath control, and that would make that very difficult. And I like to keep things super high energy, and by doing drugs, that would definitely slow me down, and that would ruin my natural high for me. So, no drugs. I love the Natural High organization. I feel so blessed that they came to me and asked me to share my story with you guys, because I feel like this is exactly what our generation needs to hear, and just people of all ages needs to hear. And what I love so much about Natural High is that they're not just about like, oh, drugs are bad, don't do them. They provide healthy alternatives to engage in natural highs, like mine is live music. And it's perfect because it gives people options, not just like, oh, don't do drugs, but do this instead. And that's wonderful. And the fact that they use celebrities to share their stories with kids is awesome, because the media has a really strong effect on people these days, which is sad, but this is good because they're putting out a positive message, and they have people like my personal favorite that has spoken for this organization is Cassidy Pope, because she's the front woman of a rock band, and she's been very influential in my life since 2008 when their first record came out. And to see her support something like this, especially her being around drugs all the time, like on Warped Tour and stuff. There's a lot of partying and drinking and drugs out there, so to see her come out clean from all of this, she's a true hero in my eyes, and it's awesome to have someone like her to look up to. Of course I do. I want everybody to hear the message that you guys are putting out there. It's very important, and I think it's very influential on a lot of people. Absolutely. There's nothing in the world that I'd rather do than music. I really feel that everybody's put on this earth for a reason, and we all have a purpose in life. And I feel like music is mine, but there's something bigger behind it. I want to live my dream so I can inspire other people to live theirs, even if it's not music related, just to try hard, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. And that's what I want to do with my music. I want to share a message with people. My advice for aspiring musicians and just anybody in general trying to live your dreams is don't give up. It's only overused because it's true. For every one yes you get, you're going to get 1,000 no's before it. And just this business is super hard to get into. Believe me, I know. I'm trying myself and I'm failing, but in the end I'm not failing because failing would be sitting on my butt, not doing anything. If you work hard enough and you want it bad enough, you will get there. If you have that mindset, there's nothing that's going to stop you. And just enjoy the ride because it's a beautiful ride. It's a tough road, but it'll be worth it. So what's next for me is I'm currently writing and recording my first CD, Fingers Tied. And it was originally supposed to be an EP, but when inspiration finds you, you just gotta go with it. So I've been writing like crazy, and now it's a full-length album that I'm so stoked on. And hopefully it'll be out early spring next year. We'll see. But yeah, that's what's coming up for me. So thank you so much for watching this. Thank you a million times to Natural High for asking me to do this. It was definitely my pleasure to share my story with you guys, and I hope it inspires you to make healthy decisions.